India Manufacturing Excellence Awards 2015, held at Mumbai, highlighted many key factors for efficient manufacturing in India. Awards were presented to some of the most progressive companies in India. The event kicked off with a keynote speech by Mr. Nitin Kalotia, Director, Manufacturing and Process Consulting, Frost & Sullivan.
We started with this concept of mega trends, mega trends that will impact the way our lives are, the way we do business, the way the community functions around. So we've been coming up with the top 10 mega trends globally. And about 2 years back, we also took up the initiative of analyzing what are the mega trends that would shape the next generation of manufacturing. A lot of industries would want off-the-shelf software solutions. That's the, we've said, okay, let's get a solution which works for us. But the future is all about customizing it to the need. And similarly, oil and gas is one of the pioneers in this. So they will continue to look at it. So basically, it will be the oil and gas, metals and minerals, water and waste products, which would look at more and more of these intuitive interfaces for their organizations.
Our Prime Minister has really launched a program of initiative of Make in India. And it's important for us, not only just the Indian companies, but the MNCs to also brace it. To present something which is linked to our Prime Minister's initiative, not to do an investment. Of course, the Make in India initiative is to invite companies from abroad and ask them to do investment in India. But one of the important thing is come to India and have a zero defect and a zero effect policy. You are aware about government is putting a lot of focus on smart cities, right? And West Schneider also has a lot of products to offer. We are focusing on all those products to be made in India, available to our customers in India.
We decided we will not do everything. We'll prioritize everything, and then we'll do only two things. Because in a nutshell, if we'll throw one ball and catch by two hands, it's a normal job. If we'll throw two balls into the air and catch with your two hands, it's the expert. If we'll throw three balls and catch with your two hands, it's a magician. So we decided we'll not to be magician, we will work as expert. If we'll work in these 2 points, communication gap, to have a structured communication in between us and partner, and right contract review mechanism in place, structured contract review mechanism in place, then we can do something better.
In Dr. Reddy's, or in pharmaceutical companies in general, people, safety, quality, delivery were focused much, but excellence in the area of improvement, continuous improvement, Lean, Six Sigma were more or less missing in the Indian pharmaceutical companies. So I think many of the Indian pharmaceutical companies started in last 3-5 years, and most of us are now traveling together. We have today also 2 or 3 companies coming over here in this summit.
We need to change our mindset first. We need to change ourselves. We need to demonstrate and be transparent with our suppliers before we even demand from our supplier partners. Hence, in order to bridge the gap between the current situation and the desired, this project Sankalp was launched with an objective to improve the supplier base to deliver a quality delivery and profitability at their end.
In this entire process now, we could understand, especially now, I can understand there are, of course, we have very standard management practices across manufacturing as well as across functions. But there are some gray areas between functions, between divisions, which our normal management couldn't understand, which you understand through this tool. I think that is one of the very good points, and surely that by improving that condition, that improvement points, surely we can develop our plant further.
Not much of investments has been seen across the sectors, but almost 1.1 lakh crores worth of proposals in the electronic sector has come in. The reason why people are going to look at Make in India could be to look at how exactly they can reduce the import time. Okay. Apart from that thing, they should not be looking at Make in India as a product for the export markets kind of stuff. No, I think we should be looking at Make in India for India.
After the speeches, the event witnessed a welcome address by Anup Zucchi, Global President and Managing Director, Frost & Sullivan, followed by a panel discussion on manufacturing share in GDP at 25%, a utopic assumption or a possible reality for India. Let's have a look.
Frost & Sullivan's India Manufacturing Excellence Program started more than a decade ago, and as you heard earlier, the primary goal and objective was to help companies in India become a lot more competitive so that they can participate in the global stage. As India progresses in the direction of being the manufacturing hub, which I believe it is a necessity for this country to have in order to increase the employment and employability of the people, it is very important for us to understand the amount of competition that we will be facing in the future.
So one of the key changes that we have done here is in terms of the framework. Historically, the framework used to be on the 12 parameters on operational excellence. We also give weightage to companies for achieving the results. So that's how a 20% weightage is given to the results. The focus still remains on the process that enables the achievement of these results.
Assumption 13 years back was that India is about to ride a wave in manufacturing excellence, and a bit amount of a healthy competitive peer competition or comparison could help in each person not only benchmark himself against other companies but also kind of compete and for a particular common objective. We made it sure that the road to achieve the recognition had a massive overlap with what any stakeholder in the business would want all his employees to be doing around the year. So that actually helped people say that, look, if we are doing things right, we should get a good score on this assessment model, and that actually happened. As an Indian company which has got global ambitions, would like to have your perspective on this, on this discussion which we have possibly, witnessed in the last couple of months.
With the way we are changing, seeing the world moving today, which has become very, very volatile. The auto ancillaries, they are very, very strong, and they have some 30%, 25% export share, while they make money from there and they get scale from here. So I think it has to be mix of it, and obviously you have to be a very strong Indian player to be a good exporter.
What do you think is the right one? Should we as a nation promote and differentiate and bring up the SME sector, or should we let the market forces be fair to everybody and let them just grow the way they are?
Generally, a few things which are challenges to go forward, even for a SME to sustain in the new company law or new regime, we have to abide by so many rules, regulations and compliances to sustain. We'll have to actually work both sides. We have to grow SMEs, because SMEs bring value, SMEs bring certain kind of efficiency which large scale cannot.
So what is your opinion, what should be the line between governance and allowing the market to kind of decide on itself?
There are roadblocks of various clearances and land acquisition roadblocks, but no country can survive without exploiting its natural resources to the fullest extent. And I think India has got plenty of rules. I think today the issue is only of how to implement it and how to make things do faster. And many times there is a little bit of delay that happens in the country, and the delay actually, you lose the overall value in the market or the commodity space when you have this kind of delays.
What's your take on this ease of doing business in India, and not from a perspective of what's been your observation, but rather from a futuristic observation of what do you think needs to happen to really get to that, within the top 50?
Earlier, to do an infrastructure addition, a capacity addition, or setting up a plant, you had to think 20 times. Today, you want to set up an infrastructure, You go to the government, you meet the bureaucracy, things move very, very fast. I won't be surprised that 2 years, 3 years down the line, you will be in top 10. And you can see things happening. The challenges that the government, that the industry faces today is not archaic laws only. It also faces challenges in certain areas there are no laws. So you see a lot of laws getting framed these days, which initially causes a lot of heartburn and discomfort for people in their businesses, but the fact is tomorrow, it will make doing business easier.
Do we see, Indian consumers prefer Indian manufactured drug as against MNC manufactured drug?
Capability of Indian manufacturers in pharma industry is very high compared to the multinationals.
True.
We have high level of technical capability, high level of regulatory standards also, and approvals we are able to get. So I feel there is tremendous scope for Indian companies to make a dent in the international market. I am sure over the next 10 years time you will find a lot of Indian companies manufacturing for multinationals and also new products of Indian origin coming into the pharma market. I am sure that's going to happen soon.
The way you look at things, do you, doesn't a person who is having a bird's eye view actually consider that India will eventually become a manufacturing hub?
If we can be innovative and not focus on low-cost model, I think we have an opportunity. I think we have a stable government. I think with the center being stable, hopefully for the next 5 years, and with their razor focus on these big economic issues and agenda, I think we have a realistic chance. Whether we go from 15% to 25%, I think is less relevant. For me, most important is us moving in the right direction. Manufacturing is key. We cannot survive without manufacturing, and manufacturing has to be a big part of who we are and what we do as a country.
It's interesting to see basically how manufacturing is focused and how manufacturing excellence is being awarded across the country. So there is a kind of sense of competition, and everyone likes to improve through that process. So it's not limited to award only, it's also a process which helps.
Unless you come to a forum like this, you don't realize how big the event is. And till now, our interaction was more with Frost & Sullivan, their assessors. They were assessing your business end to end, not just the manufacturing or supply chain side, even on the sales side. But when you come in over here, you react, you interact with the different people, you see the kind of things that they are doing. It actually opens your eyes. You feel great about what you have achieved, but it also sets your direction in terms of what more is there for you to achieve.
Post the panel discussion, India Manufacturing Excellence Awards were announced and the winners were felicitated on the stage.
We will move on, ladies and gentlemen, with the presentation of the awards. The first award recipient this evening, recipient of the Gold Award. Ladies and gentlemen, the first of the 2 Gold Awards this evening. First runner-up in the engineering sector amongst emerging facilities. Please put your hands together for SKF Limited Haridwar Unit. The second Gold Award, ladies and gentlemen, the first runner-up in the engineering sector amongst emerging facilities, goes to Schneider Electric India Private Limited, Hyderabad Unit. Moving on, we're still in the Gold Award category. Ladies and gentlemen, this organization is none other than the Vasai East Unit of Rekem RPG Private Limited. Gold Award this year in the FMCG sector amongst medium businesses goes to Johnson & Johnson Private Limited, Mulund Unit. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to throw no light on this next company. You know the name? Philips India Limited, Vadodara Unit. No light applause for these people. Heavy applause. The next gold award in the engineering sector amongst medium businesses goes to a company that embraces new era energy. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the Idea 4 and 5 Bengaluru unit of Schneider Electric IT Business India Private Limited. Well, gentlemen, moving on. This gold award for large businesses goes to the pharma sector. And the next gold award goes to Dr. Reddy's Laboratories Limited, FTO2 Hyderabad unit. The Gold Award, the first runner-up this year in the FMCG sector amongst large businesses, goes to the Buddy unit of Johnson & Johnson Private Limited. Well, gentlemen, moving on. With a clean wash, it's Pear Soap. Please welcome Hindustan Unilever Limited, Barotiwala unit. The Gold Award in the metal sector amongst mega large businesses this year goes to the Korba unit of Bharat Aluminium Company. Please put your hands together. As we move on, ladies and gentlemen, the first of the two gold awards in the process sector amongst mega large businesses goes to the Vadinar unit of SR Oil Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, the next gold award in the process sector amongst mega large businesses goes to Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, Mumbai Refinery Unit. Ladies and gentlemen, the next category of awards is for the Future Ready Factory of the Year Award, the Platinum Awards. This Future Ready Factory Platinum Award for this year goes to the Noida unit of Subros Limited. Please put your hands together. Ladies and gentlemen, moving on, it would not be wrong to say that the next plant is always bubbling with activity. The Amirpur unit of Hindustan Coca-Cola Beverages Limited. Later, moving on, the next Future Ready factory is a 50-year-old. This Future Ready factory Platinum Award in the engineering sector large business goes to the Pune unit of SKF India Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, the Future Ready Factory Platinum Award in the pharma sector amongst large businesses goes to the Goa unit of Pfizer Limited. As we move on, ladies and gentlemen, the Future Ready Factory Platinum Award in the FMCG sector amongst mega large facilities. Platinum Award in the automotive sector amongst mega large businesses goes to this Future Ready Factory. Please put your hands together for the Haridwar unit of Mahindra & Mahindra Limited. This next plant manufactures India's first SUV. This Future Ready Factory Platinum Award in the automotive sector amongst the mega large businesses goes to the Nashik plant of Mahindra & Mahindra Limited. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Balabgarh unit of this company, that's JCB India Limited, as it bags a Future Ready Factory Platinum Award engineering sector amongst the mega large businesses. Moving on, the Indian Manufacturer of the Year, first of the two awards we have here. So ladies and gentlemen, we present to you the Igatpuri facility of Mahindra & Mahindra Limited. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the highest award of the evening, the Indian Manufacturer of the Year. I would request you all to please give them a standing ovation. This is the Bangalore facility of Toyota Kirloskar Motors Private Limited. Please welcome on stage. Thank all our participants for making it so very special, and I'd like to request just one participant from each award winner to step up on stage and please give us a memento photograph.